Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity. Let me move you guys out of the way. Okay. So, guys, today we're going to be talking about time management. A lot of people say to me, why are you qualified to do this? Well, because there's about 70 people that I manage most of the time, a whole bunch of departments. And people ask me, how do you keep track of everything? Is that from the minute I wake up in the morning, my day is planned. So we're going to be talking about what are the things that are working for me on time management. And I think it's going to be very useful. So the first tip is going to be setting up a clear goals, setting up clear goals. And I'm just going to read some of the notes that I put here. When creating a game plan for your business, we recommend thinking about two important aspects: setting a timeline and setting goals. While setting a timeline gives you the idea of how long it will take you, setting your goals will allow you to focus your energy on the things that you want to achieve. This automatically makes you more productive, allows you to plan your schedule efficiently. Think equally about your long term plans and goals as well as your short term schedule. Dedicate at least 30 minutes out of your morning routine to go over your daily schedule. Challenge yourself by doing your toughest tasks first to get them out of the way. So, guys, um, the only way that I'm able to literally talk to at least 30 people a day and be able to have all of my tasks on time and be able to meet with all the departments, all the leaders, do all this crazy stuff is because I think of myself as a computer. Okay. What is the most effective equipment that you could think of? A computer, right? Why? Because it's pre-programmed. Okay, a computer is not gonna miss something that is programmed into, something that you schedule into a computer. Uh, the computer is not gonna miss an appointment. A computer is not gonna miss a phone call. Okay, if you tell the computer, if you tell the system do this, you set it up, automation, whatever the case might be, the computer doesn't have the what we have as humans with, which is forgetting. We forget things. So start your day with thinking, okay, let me plan my day. Let me take 30 minutes of my day, the beginning of the day. What is it that I'm gonna do today? Okay. And by thinking about creating a game plan for your business, it's gonna allow you to understand what you need to do daily and what are those things that you need to do daily consistently to get you to your long-term goal. Okay. But they say that for every minute you spend planning, you save an hour later. For every minute that you spend planning for the future, you save an hour later. So if you dedicate 30 minutes before you start your day to plan what your day is going to be like, right? And maybe you already planned the day from the day before, but things change, right? Overnight, you could have gotten some emails or some stuff that requires more urgency than others. That's why making it a habit to every morning, pre-planning your day is very important. Okay. So this is set your clear goals and timelines is very important. That's the first point that I want to talk about. Okay. Number two is create a routine. Just like exercising, the more you stick to your routine, the easier it gets. Create the daily flows that works for you and keep it consistent. Whether you're a morning person or a night person, plan your tasks in the way that you know you'll be the most productive and keep it the same through your week. Your body natural responses to repetitive behavior with no time, you find yourself getting hooked. Okay, so pretty much creating a routine. Nobody knows yourself like you. Okay, so create a routine Sometimes it's all about the ambient that you give yourself, you know. How do you program, talking about programming again, how do you program your brain to say, okay, you know, I challenge you, if Mondays are stressful days, don't deal with stressful tasks on Monday. Maybe Tuesday is a day that is better for those, because now, you know, this is your first day back in the office after the weekend. You got a whole bunch of stuff over the weekend that you need to catch up with. Maybe that Monday is not the perfect day to do your most toughest task. Maybe Tuesday is the day. So create your ambient, create a, just like exercising, create a routine of the things that you do. Uh, if you're not a morning person, then do maybe at night you want to do your creative thinking. Okay, if you're a morning person, maybe you could do your creative thinking in the morning. But it's very important that you keep it consistent, and that you stick to the routine. Okay, but in order to do that routine, you create the ambient of, you know, Mondays, I'm gonna do the easy stuff. Fridays, because I'm in the mood of the weekend is coming, I could take talking to difficult clients on Friday, so I'm gonna do Friday. Create a routine, very important. Number three, avoid distractions. Life is full of wonderful distractions, TV shows, text messages, Facebook, all kinds of stuff. If you want to get the job done, preparation helps. For started, for starters, get yourself used to the idea that the time you schedule is 100% dedicated to doing your work. Close all irrelevant browser tabs, put your phone away, out of sight, and on silence. Some people like listening to music, talking about creating the ambient, while others enjoy premeditation sections, whatever gets you in the zone. And this is talking about creating that ambient, that perfect ambient for you. If hip hop does it for you, then play hip hop. For me, it's techno. I like techno. It just helps me focus. Okay. Whether you work in a public space or at home, find a quiet spot where you feel comfortable in and get out of your butt to work. Okay. So avoiding distraction. I mean, guys, if there's a reason why people in US are falling behind in productivity, is because of freaking social media. Okay, how many of us? I mean, how many times can you count that you go into Facebook just to check it out? Okay, I'm a huge believer of the brain can only operate uh, at a certain speed for maximum 3 hours. So I'm a huge advocate of breaks. You know, I'm a huge advocate of every 3 hours take a 30-minute break or 15-minute break. And then if you go at it with social media, after 3 hours, after 3 productive hours, you want to take a break, help yourself to social media, spend the next 30 minutes on social media, give yourself a break, look at fun stuff, but don't do it in between, guys. It takes so much uh, effort, because every time you jump into social media or get a distraction, you might be in the middle of something, you might be ready to do something, and now you lost the train of thought. Now you have to, what was that? Can you guys put the phone on mute? Thank you. Now you lost the train of thought, and just like I did right now, that was a perfect. Oh, thank you, just in cute, perfect distraction. I was this close to losing my train of thought, but guys, the mind is a muscle, right? If you exercising, you're doing your things, your brain is warm, you focus on one thing. The minute that you deviate from that, you're gonna lose brain power. Bottom line. So I'm an advocate of social media. Look to all the social media you want, but schedule it. Do it on your time off, or Give yourself, I'm going to be super proactive from 9 in the morning to 12 p.m. And then I'm going to take an hour break. And then after 3 more hours, I'm going to work from 1 to 3 p.m. And then at 4, I'm going to take another break. I believe in breaks. Breaks are needed, but just bundle them up. Don't do it every single minute of the day. It's going to take a lot of time from you. Okay. The next one is leave a buffer between tasks. And this is what I was just talking about. So you become lean, mean, working machine. That's amazing, but don't overdo it. The human brain can only focus 30 minutes at a time. So giving your brain and body some sort of cooling off time is equally important. Whether it's stretching your legs for 20 minutes, grabbing a snack, or cozying up with your pet, taking some time off for yourself. This is exactly what I was talking about. Uh, Go as fast as you can for the minute that is dedicated for work, those 90 minutes. Do what you gotta do, don't get distracted, but give yourself a reward. This is how you fool your brain. You're gonna say to your brain, I'm gonna do more social media than ever, but I'm gonna schedule it. If I was doing a minute here, a minute there, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of freaking social media. But I'm gonna make sure that for the next 90, I'm laser focused. And I guarantee you guys, whatever you were doing in 90 minutes, that you'll be able to double the amount of productivity on those 90 minutes, and you're gonna be able to double your fun, and double your social media interaction. You could accomplish both, yes, but you have to do it in a pre-programmed basis. Remember what I said at the beginning. Our goal as humans is, if for us to be super productive is not reacting to situations, not reacting to something that comes up, but being proactive, programming yourself, programming your day. Going back to the computer analogy, how can we be as close as possible to a computer? And the only way to do that is at the beginning of the day, you said, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to do this. From this time, I'm going to have fun. From this time later during the day, when I'm about to leave, I'm more relaxed. I'm going home. I'm going to tackle this stuff. But like I said at the beginning of the training, tackle your most difficult tasks, and then the other ones are going to feel like a piece of cake. But it's very important. This is, to me, out of everything, one of the most important tasks that you need to do. What I do is every 90 minutes, I take a break, take out my phone, and I start playing a card game. Challenge yourself. It doesn't matter how stressed you are, doesn't matter how difficult the situation is. You sometimes, believe it or not, when the roof is falling, is the time that I said, okay, let me goof around for a little bit, because you won't believe how much uh, more brain power you're gonna get after that break session, and you'll be able to resolve the problem 3 times faster. So anytime I have a client that says, "Oh, I'm gonna sue you this and that," 2 lawsuits all at the same time, I said, I'm gonna take a break, coffee, reflect, meditate, play a game, and when I come back, I have the solution. Okay, so these breaks are as important as staying focused for most of the day. Okay. The next topic about time management is ask for feedback. Um, a lot of times, this is it's human nature to get offended when somebody gives you feedback, but it should be the other way around. You should welcome feedback. You should embrace feedback, because that's how how can you improve, right? And it's all about self-improvement. How can I improve every day? So we covered some grounds and made some progress when suddenly you get stuck, big time, focusing too long on an idea or an assignment that you're not sure if might put you behind a schedule or waste valuable time. So what are friends for if not to offer you a lending hand? Ask for a second opinion, get feedback to help you steer to the right direction. Apply these tips that can actually help you long term. Run as you aren't rehearsing the same idea over and over again. Who knows, you might be given a different perspective that you never thought of before. So feedback, I embrace feedback. And those of you that know me, when you tell me, hey, Jorge, this is happening, or you did this wrong, I welcome the feedback. I welcome constructive criticism. So if somebody says something to me, it's like, okay, tell me more, and then I ask the person, okay, how do you think I could improve this? Because that's the key, right? When if somebody's just giving you noise and complaining, but they're not offering you, some feedback, then that's just a complaint. That's not constructive criticism. But when somebody challenges and says, Jorge, you're doing this the wrong way, this and that, oh, I get it. What do you think will be a better process to do it? And you never know, different angle, different perspectives. An outsider, somebody outside of the process might think of something that you've been stuck with for a long time. So please encourage feedback moving forward. It's going to help you take your business to the next level a lot faster. And when we don't embrace feedback and we get upset quickly, people tend to not tell us what they feel about us. They might have a good idea on how you could improve the process, and it just delays your growth in a way. Because if you tell the person, hey, be transparent, then you can expedite your growth a lot faster, and you can expedite your task, which is what we're talking about, time management. Okay. Kick the clutter. Okay. And this is super important, guys. Remember how your mom would always nag you to clean your room when you were kids? Annoying as it was, keeping your space organized and clean, it was good. It was a good life lesson to follow. Whether you're no book or computer kind of person, make sure you keep everything neat and organized. Don't lose value of time by, however you say that word, throwing away any rubbish. Wash your coffee mugs. Organize your desk by using folders, dividers, highlighters, and labels. So, guys, have you ever noticed that when you were younger, you couldn't even find the other sock, your pair of socks, you always find one, you couldn't find the other. And then you spend time looking under the bed. Where the heck is this sock? It's the same that happens to us as adults, right? If you don't keep everything organized, you're gonna waste so much time on reorganizing yourself every day instead of starting your day organized. Make sure that this is the pile where I put my documents. This is where I keep my notes. Try to at least once a week organize your workspace is vital. Okay. Ask yourself, how much time do I spend organizing stuff? And no matter how organized you are today, there's always room for improvement. And I bet you anytime that I've asked this question, people always find one or two or three things that they spend looking for during a whole week. And these are people that are very organized. So I challenge yourself, anytime you don't find something within 5 seconds, then there's something in the process that you have to fix. Okay. You shouldn't spend more than 5 seconds identifying where something is at. And if you think that you're organized and you're spending more than 5 seconds looking for something, then think again. But that's a good way of measuring it. If you spend more than 5 seconds trying to look for something, then you're not as organized as you think. So being organized is super important for time management. Okay. Next one is, don't stress about falling. No one likes to fail. In fact, many of us fear the idea. Truth be told, spending time stressing about failing in the future is not productive. The sooner you dive into it, the sooner you know the outcome, in which, of course, saves you hours of uncertainty. While it might sound strange, failing has a big role in success, as it gives us an opportunity to learn from the mistakes and help us grow. If worrying is what's stopping you, just do it. When it comes to your business, don't be afraid to take the leap of faith. Okay, so don't stress about failing. It's part of the business. Actually, becoming successful is all about failing and getting up and continue pushing. If somebody has failed more than anybody here, is me. But failing teaches you so much. But getting stuck on a fear, it pushes you back so much. Guys, there's been times where the bank account's been negative, where we've had losses, where we all at the same time. And I can't recall one time that just worrying about it has ever helped me. Actually, the minute that I set my mind to, okay, let me rest, let me think about this later. Talking about being a computer again. When would be the best time to think about this? Maybe tomorrow, because after coffee at 12, I have a closing, I'm gonna feel good about it. So maybe I'll tackle this problem at that moment. But also failing is a natural cycle of becoming successful. I would almost say that if you're not falling constantly, you're not growing, because the only way to grow is by taking risk. So if you're not taking risks, you're not growing. You're not expanding your circle. You're not coming out of your box. Okay, so the one quality that I've seen business owners that have made it is that they're not afraid of failing, and they actually look, they imbibe failing as part of their strategy, because it's tied to risk, right? So if we don't risk, if we don't take the risk, we don't take a leap of good faith, then we never grow. So failing is very important part of also time management in how you deal with it. Do not stay on it. Do not worry about it. I could tell you I'm 44 years old and there hasn't been a problem that has not gotten fixed. And I've been through divorces, I've been through almost a bankruptcy. In time heals the wounds of your mistakes. Just keep at it, keep going. Don't worry about it. It's gonna happen. Okay, priority. This is super important, guys. One of the best ways to stay focused on accomplishing your goal is by putting things in priority. Knowing how to prioritize work affects the time you spend on a task and your overall success. Start by creating a to-do list of tasks that need to get done, and make sure that you order them by effort and begin planning your time accordingly. Create a list will help you visualize your goal and determine what is actually most relevant, as well as most urgent. This is something that I've been working with the whole team with. And as I'm coaching people, 9 times out of 10, people they think they're busy, and they are busy on the wrong task. Sometimes I'm looking at the task and I'm, okay, what are you doing now? Oh, I'm spending 2 hours here trying to figure out how I could get a testimonial for Greystone. Okay, and I asked the agent or staff member how high of a priority that is. Well, I never thought about it. Well, you guys gotta start thinking about it. Okay, going back to the computer analogy, we're computers. We need to program our day. We need to program our tasks, and we need to program our priorities, guys, because I couldn't tell you how many times people are spending, I would say most employees spend 80% of the time on the low priorities, then they jump into the mid priorities, and then they leave the important priorities to the end because those are the hard ones to do. Okay. But when you start prioritizing tasks and you start focusing on the ones that must be done, and you put due dates, then you realize after sticking to this process and being very religious about this process, you're gonna start seeing that your time starts to get freed up, and you're wondering, man, I'm doing more than ever. It's because the important tasks are out of the way, and the me priority tasks now are more comfortable to do because the important tasks are done. You're not pressure as much on the me priority tasks, and even less on the low priority tasks. So you could do those without really some sort of pressure for a due date. So start with priorities is very important. And sometimes what happens is when you put a priority as low, guess what? After 2 weeks, a month, you realize, oh shoot, I don't have to do that anymore. Somebody else took care of it, or it's not relevant anymore. So instead of spending time on things that are not relevant long term, tackle the important ones, reorganize it in a way that you get the important ones out of the way. Okay. Another one that's important for time management is delegating. For those of us who likes to be in control, the very thought of this is likely to provoke a bit of anxiety. That being said, no matter how much you hate to admit it, you cannot do everything. While you're probably quite skilled in numbers of areas, why not ask for help from other people who are expert in their own field? If there are things that could be better done by others, consider delegating. This will reduce the workload and allow you to be less stressful and more productive. Um, this is a very tough skill for a lot of people because sometimes you know how to do things the right way. You have the experience. It's an important client. You want to make sure everything goes well. But the problem is that you don't realize that you're handicapping yourself long term. Okay, especially if you have a team around you. Like in the case of Grayson, there's so many people around you. Uh, Short term, it might not be a big deal because you want to make sure that that client is taken care of the way that you want it to be. But long term, if you don't let go, you won't be able to scale up. That's simple. And going back to the risk, going back to failing, you have to allow the people that you delegate to fail. That's okay. They could fail the first time, they could get a warning on the second time, and then they could either on the third one get let go, fire, or you decide, okay, moving forward, I will not delegate this task to this person anymore. But you have to be open to the idea. You have to delegate. You have to decide, okay, who's better at this than me? In the long term, as you build trust in different team members, now you can build up your team and you can say, okay, now it's not all me. Okay. And that's how you can scale. All right. So how can you scale is by learning how to delegate, but you have to trust those people first. And you have to be okay in case that they fail. And I can, Jose, can you put your phone in mute, please? Thank you, appreciate it. So very important, and it's so hard for so many people to learn how to delegate. It's so hard. They don't know how to start. Just believe in that person, and just to give an example, we have a couple of staff members that are brand new. We have some in marketing, we have some in lending, and some of them have never even heard of what lending is. Okay. But I challenged Lisa in lending. I said, Lisa, just give them a couple of videos for them to watch, give them the task, and allow that person, empower that person to be able to say, I got stuck. Now I need your help. I couldn't tell you how many times I'm so surprised to see somebody flourish, right? Because they took the time to try to get the task for you. They went and got trained, and now you accomplish two or three things at the same time. One is now you know the key player that you could use for those things moving forward. Now, because you empower the person, they feel committed to you. They train themselves, so they grew as well. And now you have a better team moving forward. So it's really good. Delegating is something that is a must that you have to learn. The next one is know your limits. When to say no. Well, there's a bit of a Superman or Wonder Woman on each of us. It's impossible for us to do everything. There'll be times when an interesting business proposal or project comes up, Nadia. And although the temptation is great, it is important for us to decline. Remember, there are certain sacrifices that need to be made if you want to accomplish your goals, which also means occasionally saying no. Okay. There's a lot of superstars here, starting with Nadia. And Nadia, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I hope you're okay with it. Uh, but this is one of my biggest challenges with Nadia because she's Wonder Woman. She wants to help everybody. She says yes to everyone. And it's an amazing quality of Nadia. That's why we all love her, and that's why no agent ever leaves Greystone. But at the same time, there's occasions where you have to say no. You have to, in order to improve your time management skills, you have to be able to say, okay, is this something that I should be doing? How is this going to bring value to my process? Really break down what you've been asked to do. Just don't go and run with it because it sounds good. I need you to break it down and analyze it. Okay, so this guy is saying for me to do and go and do 10 seminars, and there's a possibility that I could find investors. But wait a second, we only have 3 houses, so we're looking for more off-market properties. Maybe that's not the best use of my time. Let me say no to this. Let me work on this other guy that's going to help us find more properties. So before you jump into anything, you have to really analyze it. And how is this going to bring me value for my short-term goals and long-term goals? That should be the most important thing. Okay.
I say no to some things.
Well, you don't say no to anything. So I want to leave you guys with this. The one thing, the most important thing that I want you guys to learn, it is a mind shift. If you start thinking of how can it, how can I be as close as effective as a computer, is that you every day is programmed. You don't do anything that is not programmed into the brain of your computer, your own computer. Everything has to be programmed because if everything's programmed, everything will be pre-planned. You will be prepared for the call. You will be prepared for the challenge. There's a chance that you slept on it because it happened yesterday and you pre-plan it for today. If you start thinking of yourself as a computer that I don't react to nothing, I program everything, I promise you guys that your time is going to get cut down, that your answers to those phone calls will be better, that your answers to those emails will be better, that your sales skills for that person, because instead of picking up the call and I say, I'm going to call you in the next 5 minutes, you say, would it be okay if we discuss this on Friday? It allows you to give you, it'll give you time to think the strategy. Maybe you don't think of it today. Maybe it takes you 2 days to think about it, or something that happens through the week allows you to, you get in a eureka moment and you say, you know what, this is the angle that I'm gonna do with this person. And also your ambient, like Norma will say, your ambient, okay? Create your own ambient. Create if you feel that Mondays is stressful day, bring a radio on Mondays, have your coffee, your preferred beverage. That's the day that you bring maybe your I was gonna say Corona, but no, no alcohol. But maybe you bring something that you like, set it up so you fool your brain that that difficult day is gonna be a better day. But bundle your energy, okay? If you know that on Monday you're gonna be dealing with tenets or problems, hard problems, take all the hard problems and nip them because you're gonna be in the mindset of solving. You solve the first one, you're gonna solve the next one, you're gonna solve the next one. If Tuesday you feel is the day that you could do the computer work, the technology, because you that's the day that you don't have anything booked with Nadia. That's the day that you put everything into the computer day and you do it that day. I want you guys to get to the point where you're so close to a computer that every day is programmed, every day has a meaning, every day, on your calendar, today is the day for buyers, tomorrow is the day for sellers, Wednesday is the day for investors, Thursday is going to be my technology day, social media day, Friday is going to be the day that I'm going to call people and harass them on the phone. Uh, Program your day. I bet you anything that your day will improve. And this is Jorge telling you this, that all of you have access to my phone. There's 77 of us, 21 in staff, 25, 51 agents. I own Greystone, Kaba, I'm co-owner, Real Property Title, JBJR. I own like 7 companies. Okay. So, I'm able to manage everything, but it's because everything I do is pre-planned. I could open it for some questions. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, I think this is really important. I especially like having all of these on one specific day. I think that's really important to do because I know for me, I have tasks that are all over the place. But if I have a specific time and date for it, then I know it gets done. And I really like that. That's a really good goal to set here too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I would say 99% of us, if I were to grade what your time management skills are, there will be, I would say 99% of everybody here, I will give them a C minus. That's just the reality of it. Remember what I said about feedback? Don't get upset. Take the feedback and then send me an email. Jorge, how can I improve? You guys got to be open to feedback. But I would say 99% of us here don't even know what we're gonna do in the next 30 minutes. We look at the calendar, it's 9, and we look at the calendar. Okay, what do I gotta do in the next 30? So pre-planning is super important. Setting yourself for success by creating the right ambient is important. We also talked about giving yourself a break, leave a buffer. You need to disconnect, guys, at least once a day. I'd rather you take a 2-hour break during the day that work nonstop all day and they get burned in a few months and say, this is not for me. And by the way, not only you're gonna get burned, you're gonna make a ton of mistakes because you don't give your brain a little bit of a cushion in between. So I challenge you to start having more breaks. Think about your days. Do I disconnect completely? And by the way, when you take this break, I want it to be the most stupid thing you could think of. Has to be something where your brain is used very little. You're using very little brain power, like a phone game or something like this, and you're gonna see what happens afterwards. But it's amazing what happens afterwards. It's like you're hitting reset on the computer, and then you come back like a new person. You're like, okay, I'm ready to think. And now all of a sudden, that those big problems that look very big look so small when you do this exercise. So, Lisa, any questions? I'm just going to put people on the spot then. People are not saying. Lisa, any questions?
Well, not so much questions, but commentary in that every time I speak with you, all of these principles are being reinforced. So I'm going to be admitting transparency. Yes, I'm one that maybe has a harder time letting go of stuff, but yes, it's truly, truly important to start delegating, because you will get to a point where you just get overwhelmed and end up shutting down, and that's counterproductive. So definitely taking heed to these pointers a whole lot more with this.
So let's talk about delegation. There's partners, there's people that you guys know. I'm not gonna mention names, but there's people that you guys know, okay, in the real estate business that have been in this business as long as I have, 20 years, 20 years in lending, in PM, sometimes longer. And they're very successful people, super smart, they're professionals on their field. But when you ask them how many employees you have, how big is your operation, it's me, myself, and I. And you know why? Because they never trust a second person to be able to take over. They didn't allow, they didn't empower a second person to learn. So, how do you call it? Delegating is one of the most important skills when you grow in your business. You have to be able to delegate, because the minute that you identify that is the right person to use for showings. Let's say you're a listing agent. You could list your own properties, you could do everything. But if I was a listing agent, after a couple of good months and now I have the cash flow to do it, I will say, hey, I will team up with another agent and say, Nadia, you're amazing listing properties. Can we go 50-50? You show the properties. I'm going to go out there to see if I can find other business. You need to delegate in order to scale up. Otherwise, you're always going to be relying on you yourself and yourself. That makes sense?
Jorge,
Yes.
thank you so much for all this information. I think I took a lot of every single
idea.
how you say, yeah, it was so great. I remember a long time ago when I was working for Chase, like 15, 16 years ago, and it came to my mind the same thing, and it's great. And I need everything. I need every single thing that you mentioned. Thank you so much. Definitely, I have to start working on everything.
Thank you, Luisa. And what happens is, when we're in corporate America, we do this stuff because we're forced. When we're on our own, we just go off road, and I don't know what happens to us. But when we're corporate America, we have an agenda, we have a calendar. Mondays, I want to do this, Tuesdays, we're going to do that, because your boss is telling you this is what you need to do. There's a reason why it's designed that way. It's not to be a pain in the ass to you. It's because companies spend billions of dollars training management to maximize the time of their employees. But somewhere, somehow, when we become agents, we think you just want to fly away and do whatever we need to do. But the minute you start treating your business as a corporation, the minute you're going to find, I challenge you, and you're going to see that you have more time than you think, that you could get more business than you think, and that you're happier and you deserve more breaks than the ones you're giving yourself right now. It's ironic, but the fact that your time management skills, including mine, are not to par is not allowing you to enjoy your family more. And it's funny and ironic, but it is the truth. Thank you. Anybody else has anything else? Come on, give me some negative feedback, whatever, challenge you. Michael, Raghu.
No, I enjoyed everything you told me. I mean, being organized and not being scattered all over the place. I mean, I deal with that sometimes. I have tasks that just present themselves and they need my attention right now. And so learning how to say no is something I've been working on. I'm getting better at. Delegating is better. So I'm glad you're reinforcing those things and helping us to implement them to be more effective.
Thank you, Michael. I'm gonna challenge you guys to, from now on, always say no to everything. Okay, can we agree to say no to everything moving forward? But really what I mean is say no to doing it this second, okay? You could tell the person, I'll do it in a minute, but not in this second. Let's change our mindset, okay? So from now on, I'll do it in the next 5 minutes, but not in this second, because this is my time. This is my pre-planned time, but I could probably do it in the next 5 minutes. From now, you say no to everything. And you're gonna notice that it's hard. It's kind of like added, trying to break through an addiction, very difficult. But when have a client said, can you call me now? And I said, sure, let me stop everything I'm doing and I'm gonna call you right now. Never. I value my time too much. And then what happens is, like I said, the client starts valuing my time. Just by you saying no to everything, the other person on the other side is gonna say, you know what? Shoot, I can't waste his time. Never mind, Jorge, I got it. Or never mind, Jorge, I wasn't really that serious about buying those properties. Because just right away, now you're valuing your time, right? So that's number one. Number two, like I say, you might be in the mindset of doing something. And this is getting in the way of doing what you need to do. So start practicing this. Say no to everything when it's asked to be done in the next second. But you could say, yeah, I'll do it in a minute, but not in this second. Or I'll do it in the next 5 minutes, 30 minutes. And you see that break, the 5 minutes of a difference can mean a commission difference of $10,000. I swear to God. How many times in the past when I reacted to something, let me call him right now. Yeah, yes, we'll take the deal. And if I waited 5 minutes, meditate about it, thought about it, I could make another $10,000, $15,000. So very important that you guys pre-plan everything. Anything else? Vanessa, Lee, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Do you like it? Didn't like it? I mean,
No, I did. Time management, I write lists every single day. I had 20 years in retail and managing people. Yeah, I have to stay focused on what I need to get done every day. Especially since I'm managing, several different things.
yeah, I think writing it down is super important. Of course, time management, you have to write everything. That's why I encourage people. You know what I did now, the staff members, is that whoever has the most tasks done, I'm gonna give them $1,000 bonus at the end of the year. Okay, and they could be self-inflicted tasks. So if they say, "Oh, I gotta call Michael in the next 15 minutes," they're gonna log it, because I want to create a habit of, if you know you need to do it, log it. If you think you're gonna do it in the next 5 minutes, log it. If you think you're gonna do it in the next 10 years, log it. Because life gets in the way. I've seen it happening in front of my own eyes. Like, hey, do you write this down? No, because I'm doing it right now. Mr. Klein, wait a second. I just got another call. And then boom, at the end of the day, hey, was that done? Oh crap, I forgot. Life gets in the way, so, and there's no better peace of mind to me that when I have everything written down, I know, I trust myself that it's gonna get done no matter what. So think about my psyche, think about sleeping better, think about my mood, think about all of those things that happen when you know, you trust yourself, you got to the point that you write everything down, that you know it's gonna get done, it's a non-issue. But if you don't trust yourself, because you're not writing things down, you're gonna be more stressful, you know, think about things you forgot to do. So you deserve it to yourself. Just make sure that you write everything down. I don't have anything else. Thank you for the time, guys. Unless Nadia, you have anything else for me?
No, I know that's so true about writing down as well, because you know, in the middle of the night when you wake up and you're just stressed about things, it'll keep me up all night. Or I usually bring a pad of paper to bed, and then I can write it down. And the minute I write it down, I can go to sleep. Like it just, okay, it's on there, it's gonna get done. And so I think that comes during the day too. So if you can write it down, it gives you that peace of mind that you can move forward. But I did want to say something. So I was doing something right away, and I should have delayed it a little bit. But during this meeting, everyone on this call received a lead. So if you didn't get an email, let me know. But you have a lead in your email and saying thank you for attending this meeting, and you'll be getting a lot more leads here in the next short time.
Awesome, guys. And listen, you don't have to get leads to show up to these meetings. They're valuable, okay? But thank you, Nadia, and this very generous. But these meetings are for you to grow yourself. You know, at the end of the day, you should always be doing two things: making money and bringing that value of your bank account as high as possible, but more important, building the value of your own self as a person, as a human being, as a salesperson, and making sure that you get to that goal long term. Very important. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jorge.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye. I don't even know how to log out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got it on this side.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, have a
Bye.
good night.
See ya.
Have a good